The Kerala High Court-led SIT has booked the former Travancore Devasam Board led by CPM leader A. Padmakumar in connection with the case related to the missing gold from the Sabarimala temple. Now, all board members who served in 2019 have been named as 8 accused in the case. In fact, the then Devasam Commissioner N. Vasu, Executive Officer, Administrative Officer and also Assistant Engineer, they've all been booked among others in this case now. Now, a sponsor, Unikrishnan Poti, is also the first accused in the case. In fact, there was some vigilance report submitted in the Kerala High Court mentioning lapses from the side of the 2019 Devasam board members. Now, besides this, 2 separate FIRs have also been registered in connection with the alleged gold theft. Now, one FIR pertains to irregularities in the gold-clad panels of the Dwarkapala idols, while the other one is connected with the alleged misappropriation of gold from the side frames and the lintel of the Sabarimala Sri Kovil or the Sanctum Sanctorium. Now, in both the cases, the main accused is Unikrishnan Poti, with several Devasam employees also being named as co-accused in this case. Now, the 2 FIRs correspond to incidents that occurred at different times. Gold-plated panels from the Dwarkapala sculptures were allegedly taken and melted in March 2019, while the theft from the temple door panels occurred in August 2019. So, there was a significant gap in between these 2 cases. In fact, due to the time gap and the involvement of different officials, separate investigations have been initiated in each of these cases. Meanwhile, Kerala High Court retired Judge K.T. Sankaran, appointed by the court to appraise all the valuables of the temple, visited the hill shrine on Saturday. Officials say that after completing the procedures at the temple, Sankaran will also inspect TDB's main strong room, which will take place on Monday. Now, the inspection at this point, viewers, aims to verify whether all the valuables which have been listed in the Devasam Mahasar are present in the temple's strong room or not. In fact, after the examination takes place, the team will now prepare a detailed inventory of all the contents which are present in the room. And upon completion of the appraisal, Sankaran will submit the report directly to the High Court. Now, joining me on the broadcast, Vimala Binu, advocate, Kerala High Court, Mithun Vijay Kumar, activist and political analyst, and also Professor Roni K. Baby, spokesperson, Congress Kerala. So, thank you to all 3 of you for joining us on News9. Let me start with the legal expert we have here, Vimala Binu. I want to ask you, with the way SIT is investigating with its probe right now, how do you look at it in terms of a legal angle?
This matter, the Kerala High Court is having absolute power over the board, over the Devasam board to handle the articles and other things regarding the Sabarimala temple. And without taking prior permission from the High Court, the Travancore Devasam board has acted without taking the prior permissions from the High Court. So this is in clear violation of the rules and the usage and it is highly improper in nature also. And the culprits are none other than the board members of Travancore Devasam board. And here in this matter, the matter which is to be seriously looked into is it is having a strong political support also. Without that political support, they could have entered into such a wrong administrative actions, and such a bias or corruption should not have been happened over there. And here in this matter, the matter that which shocks the concerns of the entire community, entire Kerala, is this, that Travancore Devasam board is having administrative control over 1,200 temples all over Kerala. So what might have been happened to the other temples is also a matter of serious concern, and the government has failed in all its ambience to protect the Devasam properties, the temple properties, and that too in clear violation of the clear usage and the dictums laid down by the Honorable High Court and the Supreme Court.
All right,
But
Mr. Mithun Vijay Kumar, Ms. Binu says that without political support, this gold theft could not have taken place. And at this point, when CPM leaders are being named as accused, what is, what is BJP's demand at this point, and the way investigation has been proceeding?
Ishita ji, be it BJP or anyone who is a devotee of the Ayyappa temple, what we are looking at it from a very shocking point of view. What we are discussing today is a calculated crime that strikes the very heart of the Hindu faith. So even if we forget everything else the LDF government has done in the past, be it dollar scam, gold smuggling, CMR fraud, PP kit scam, you name it, they have it. It's kind of the everything leads to CM's office directly. Now they have touched the most sacred institution in Kerala, and it has been looted, and the evidence points directly to the political appointees of the ruling left Democratic Front. So this is not just gold has gone missing. It is a sacred trust of millions of devotees that has been stolen with the full knowledge and help of the administration. And if you look at the facts, confirmed by the High Court, over 5 kilograms of sacred gold, which is worth crores of rupees, was stolen right under the nose of the Devasam board. The main accused, Unikrishnan Poti, like you mentioned, the sponsor of the gold plating work. According to the TDB vigilance report, it reveals that this man who sponsors crores of worth of work had nothing permanent or substantial source of income between 2017 and 25. So he was basically a front man for the powerful or wealthy beneficiaries who wanted to sell the stolen temple assets. And now, we hear the name of former TDB president A. Padma Kumar. He quickly said that, this is an attempt to put the entire blame on CPIM or, shift the blame onto him. And other people are answerable is what he's now justifying. Yes, there are others. There are at least 9 to 10 administrative officials that Padma Kumar's party appointed who helped him violate the rules and cover up the theft. So he cannot escape responsibility when the court states that TDB officers were aware of the unlawful handling of gold and gold plating of the Yoga Danda or Rudraksha Mala. This was done by Jaishankar Padman, Padma Kumar's son. This shows that a clear political network of patronage where lucrative temple contracts were given to party insiders and their families regardless of the law. This was like it's a very big crime network that is being involved here, and the proof of the TDP's involvement is undeniable. If you see in 2019, after the gold plating work finished, Poti had sent a mail. I was reading the news and I just I was shocked when I read this. He had mentioned that there is balanced gold with him and asked permission to use it for a girl's wedding or something. This balanced gold was stolen from the temple gold itself. And did TDB file a police complaint or something? No, they just sent a letter seeking clarity. That's it. So this proves that TDB officials were aware of the transactions and the unlawful handling of gold. Let's understand here, TDB is not a victim, but they were partners in the crime. A crime network was involved in this. And now the names of many officials are coming out. For example, a former administrative officer of Sabarimala, despite knowing that, copper sheets on Dwarapalaka idol had been gold plated in 98 itself, he gives in writing in 2019 that it's merely copper and recommends for gold plating to be done through Mr. Poti. Similarly, another former executive officer of Sabarimala, and even in the Masar, if you check, many of the names of people were mentioned who were not even present. And this is completely coordinated crime. And, it has to come out. The entire nexus has to be exposed.
All right, so you've rightly mentioned that it's no longer about a temple management issue. It's a test of accountability, faith, and also the political integrity of the government, which is rightly in question right now. Now, Professor Ronnie, do you think the government is trying to downplay or delay the investigation? And also, how do you look at this nexus that is now getting exposed in this theft case?
Since 2016, the Pinarayi Vijayan CPM government came to power, they were purposefully trying to destroy the sanctity of Sabarimala. Everybody knows the kind of issues which happened in 2018 after the Honorable Supreme Court judgment on giving permission for the women for Sabarimala. And after that, now the news are coming out. It's really shocking. It's not only for the people of Kerala. The cause of devotees of Lord Ayyappa all over the world, they were really shocked to know that the kind of gold were theft from Sabarimala, from the Sri Kovil, the gold which were used in Sri Kovil, the most sanctum place was stolen by the authorities itself. And earlier, the CPM took a stand that The Devasam board were not aware of these incidents, and it was some officials of the TDB, Tiruvangur Devasam board, they were responsible for it. But now the FIR, the second FIR, which have been filed yesterday, clearly shows that the president of the TDB, A. Patmakumar, is clearly a CPM man. He was appointed by the CPM government, and he is having very close relationship between the leaders of the ruling party, including the ministers and the chief minister, and the son of this president, Patmakumar, he himself taken away the articles from the Sri Kovil, from the Sannidhanam, the kind of gold articles. So it is really shocking. Anyway, at least we are very happy that the investigations are going on under the supervision of Honorable Kerala, High Court, the special investigation team, which was constituted by the Honorable Kerala High Court. Otherwise, like similar other cases, like dollar case, gold case, Pinarayi Vijayan's daughters, allegations of corruption, all of the cases were washed away, simply written away, and simply forgotten from the public domain of the Kerala of people. Okay, anyway, at least we can hope that the present investigation, which is now going on, which will come results, and which will protect the sanctity of Sabarimala, which will protect Lord Ayyappa and the shrine of Sabarimala from further stealing of properties. This is just a simple side of a large ice cube, because of, as Mithun Bichukumar has currently rightly said about, more than around 2,000 temples were under the supervision of TDB, Tiruvangur Devasam Board, and many of these temples, they are very famous for this kind of gold articles, and there are many allegations are coming from many sources of Kerala that very precious articles.
So, on that point, let me bring in now Mr. Kumar into the conversation. Now, Mr. Kumar, do you think cases such as this, and we also witnessed a similar case in Kasaragod where gold theft was reported, do you think this calls for reforms in the way temples are managed in the state?
See, definitely, common people now, refuse to be patient now, because this is happening again and again. You name it, Kasaragod, now it has touched Sabarimala itself. So we are demanding immediate accountability. You see, the High Court intervened because it lost faith in the TDB, ordering a special investigation team and, appointing a retired judge to independently audit every single temple asset. So this means that, people are losing faith. Even court is losing faith in the government. You see, in the FIR, it mentions 11 people. One is Unnikrishnan Poti, who is the front man. Then there is the CPIM leader, who was the TDB president in 2019, 2 former TDB board members, 9 senior TDB officials. How can you trust this government? The entire leadership appointed by the CPIM government at that time has been booked for theft, conspiracy, and criminal breach of trust. How can you trust this government anymore? And they enabled this theft actually. The TDB manual clearly states, that works on these valuable idols, this must be done inside the temple. So the CPIM-led board broke this rule and sent the gold-clad idols, naming it as copper or whatever, to Chennai. And this allowed Poti to strip the original gold. So more than Poti, it is the CPM government that needs to be blamed. There were fake documents created. The officials signed records that, that falsely claimed the gold-plated idols were just copper. And this was a deliberate act of fraud to make the valuable assets look worthless and, avoid strict legal checks. So it was a complete network that was involved in this, though. So the charges include, violation of the Prevention of Corruption Act, meaning investigators suspect these officials took bribes to facilitate the theft. So this is a government that you cannot trust, and you can't hand over valuable assets like the temple gold or these temples. The temple management has to be very strict now. Everything has to be investigated again, and there has to be a larger investigation that should go into the entire TDB network, is what I would say.
All right, Ms. Binu, how do you look at this? Do you think the way temples are managed currently in the state that needs to change? And if yes, then what are the loopholes we can plug in the system?
This matter that the temples are managed very poorly for the reason that the government support, the government itself, the Travancore Devotion Board has committed such big mistakes, which cannot be pardonable at all for the reason that the government is empowered and should have acted within the corners of law, and it is a clear blatant violation of the law that has happened. And you must see that they were knowing all these laws, they were knowing all these regulations, and the way how to manage the temple particles, but they have clearly acted in violation of law. It is not as rightly said by my co-anchor that it is not according to the whims and fancies of the government that the temples must be managed. The temples must be managed because it's not a single case of Hindu community at all. It is the case of Kerala people and their security after all. And in 2018, regarding to the woman entry, there were almost 2,000 crimes registered against people all over there, and those cases are still fought, and it has caused crores and crores of rupees of loss for the exchequer. And now the situation is this, that the temples are not properly managed, and in the Sabarimala temple, not even not even basic facilities are given. The government has failed in every way of mechanisms, and in every way it has failed vulnerably. And they are also failed in taking care of the properties of the temples. And how this kind of a government can be trusted is a question of thought process that is ongoing in the minds of the normal people in Kerala.
All right, last word from Professor Roni. In fact, at this point, we're talking about temple management, we're talking about the leaders accused in the case. But, there are emotions of devotees involved. They have been hurt, their sentiments have been hurt. So how do we assure that, such incidents do not repeat themselves?
Because the CPM rule of state government, they are not learning lessons from the past. Ever since they came to power, their only motive is to dismantle the faith of the Sabarimala. Their only motive was to destroy the Sabarimala, because that every year more than crores of devotees are coming to Sabarimala from all parts of India, even outside of India. The basic issue is that the CPM leaders, they don't have any faith. They are atheist people. They don't have any faith. So this is the issue, because of they are not seeing any kind of guilty by stealing gold from the Sabarimala. Even if the same kind of administration is continuing for some time, the entire Sabarimala will be stolen. We don't have any doubt at all. Even the deity of the Ayyappa will be also stolen. We have not only the doubt of the Congress party, the common people are strongly believe. So what we want is a strong action under the guidance of the Honorable High Court. Anyway, the Congress party is on the street. We are taking the issue very seriously, and throughout the Kerala, we are conducting padayatras. We are conducting rallies to defend the faith. And we are on the street, we are fighting. We are with the devotees, because this is not only an issue of the Hindu faith. Because Sabarimala is a very emotional issue of entire Keralites. Not only it's a matter of faith of any particular religion. Because everybody in Kerala believes it is a secular. We are seeing Sabarimala of Lord Ayyappa in the person of secularism. So,
I take your points, Professor Roni, and on that point, I have to wrap this discussion. Vimla Binu, Mithun Vijay Kumar, and Professor Roni, thank you so much for joining us.